What's going on, fantasy football folks? This is your Commissioner Leak coming to you, bringing you another update. Week 6, Week 7 in the Dirty Dozen Fantasy Football League. Got to give a quick shout out to the brothers down at ESPN, the tech brothers down at ESPN. They've now given us commissioners of the dedicated variety the ability to post video onto our home pages. So all you brothers that didn't read the messages before, didn't laugh and read all my messages before, now you can not watch my videos. I don't have to type all that crap. This is a lot better because all you brothers know how much I like to talk. This makes me very happy. So, moving on. Week 6 started out with my man, Team Schmuck, going up against the Jersey Juggernaut. And I got to start out by giving the Jersey Juggernaut his props because he's been upgraded to co-commission the league. I've delegated some of my powers to this guy because he's quite fond of the pen and pad, and he's a funny dude. He keeps me laughing. He's like my court jester. But no, he's been typing a lot of funny messages, so I just asked him if he would ride on the board, and he keeps it going. Not like all my other brothers who I thought were my brothers in this league who've been quiet as church mice. But we'll get back to that later. The Jersey Juggernaut narrowly beat Team Schmuck in basically the Who Cares Bowl. No one really wanted to see a fantasy team score 84 and 83 points respectively, but I'm sure Team Schmuck was very happy I instituted the decimal point for the yardage system because that's how he won the game. He won by 0.7 points, and he really didn't have many people scoring. He had Peyton Manning with 25.9 points, and Braylon Edwards and Matt Forte did a little bit of work getting into double figures, and it just proved to be enough as a Jersey Juggernaut was led by, if you want to call it that, Tom Brady, the incomparable one, with 16.1 points. Who said he doesn't miss Randy Moss? From a fantasy standpoint, I'm sure he does. Titans defense scored 28.9 points, but it was all for naught as they gave up the narrow victory, 0.7 points. Thanks to the commish. Everything is thanks to the commish. Thanks to the commish for the decimal system. You're welcome. Next game, I believe it was Team Sevening and his Mojo Rising, or if you look at his score, Mojo Falling. He took on my man Carlisle Peak, who incidentally says he doesn't like the way his team looks, but he's sitting at 5-1. Talk about ungrateful. Anyway, Team Mojo Rising was led by Drew Brees, who really hasn't gotten back into form yet. Scored 31.2 points in a winning effort, beating Tampa Bay. Only other players in double figures for the Mojo Rising was Austin Collie with 11.7 points. And there's the kid. Chicago Bears had 22.3 points, but that's the reason Mojo Falling just keeps on falling. He has too many damn Bears on his team. Chicago Bears. Who can give a damn bear? They play in a salad bowl for an arena. No one's buying it. They shouldn't be selling it. The Gridiron Gangsters, were led by Tony Romo. He's Tony Homo to us Eagles fans. You got to be in the NFC East to understand this. Greg Jennings scored 20.3 points. This is a loaded roster. He has Stephen Logan filling in for a few of his running backs on buys, and he almost got double figures from him. I don't know what's not to like about this team, but I'm sure he's going to try and swindle somebody with the plethora of running backs he has or wide receivers or whatever he has. Mind you, he's definitely circling the waiver wire, always looking for a pickup like a vulture on Route 66, looking for some roadkill. I'm on to your game, Carlisle Peak, and it ain't going on here. As far as I'm concerned, you'll get back to the championship game over my dead body, and I'm coming to see you, bro. I beat the champion, Mr. I forgot his name, Nelson Boyce, and his team bust your ass. Very classy opponent, very classy in victory and defeat, but I got one, and I'm coming to get the other half of the champion. Stay tuned. Next up, we have Team, speaking of devil, bust your ass against the Hilltop Hustlers. Now, the Hustlers are coming off a tough season last year. Nothing but injuries and just underperforming players. But not the team rose. I'm going from GM to Coach Rose. There's a difference. I mean, league commish. There's a difference, man. Sorry about that. But speaking of myself, I'm like the 4th, 5th, 6th person or whatever. Team bust your ass. Defending champion is still struggling to get out of the trenches right now. He sits at a record of 2-4. It's not very championship-like, but I'm sure knowing Nelson, he's doing something. He's singing at some corner, trying to get enough money to add to the salary cap to sign some type of star free agent. He's going to make some moves before the season's out in an effort to get back to that championship game against me. But anyway, Jay Cutler scored 15.9. Ray Rice, Mr. Do-It-All himself, 12.6. And the defense of the 49ers, last year's top-rated defense, ahead of the Jets, scored 23.7 points. But it wasn't enough, as the Hustlers of the Hilltop in Philadelphia were led by Kevin Cobb. Nice pickup, even though I had Michael Vick, but it was a great pickup because the Eagles' offense does it all. They score from the air, they score on the ground, and they take hellified hits to their star wide receivers. We'll get to that later. Kevin Cobb scored 33.1 points, and Frank Gore, my number one pick, at 14.9. Brandon Marshall chipped in with 12.7, and we put up 113 points even as a team to take down the defending champion. Hopefully I can do that in a couple of weeks so I can put a little bit more hardware on my mantle over there over the fireplace. We'll see what happens. Moving on, we got the Maywood Forgotten Ones, led by my man, the big shot making, not on the golf course, Maywood Forgotten Ones. Chocolate Thunder himself, Mr. Michael Finley. The Forgotten Ones. Good pickup this week. Somebody must have been on the bye. He started Alex Smith, who scored nearly 21 points. Good move there. 19.8 points for Mr. Andre Johnson, in my estimation, the best wide receiver in the game. And LaDainian Tomlinson continues to find the fountain of youth, scoring 18.7 points on 55 yards rushing, but 2 big TDs. And all of us in the fantasy world know how big those TDs can be. They won 99.7 to 76.1 against the Brooklyn Boys. My man, Derek Hostler, the financial guru from Wall Street himself. He was probably off jet setting, checking out some new hotel for one of his financial groups he's in, and he definitely needed to be minding his roster because I know he had a lot of buys. But if I had probably starting a guy on a buy would be better than starting Steve Slayton. Steve Slayton, his own team doesn't even want him. They got him returning kicks down in Houston. It's bad. And for starting Steve Slayton, you get the... Come on, son. How you gonna start Steve Slayton and you know you got a bye week coming up? You could have picked up 3 kickers on the waiver wire and started them in the running back slot and got more out of them than Steve Slayton. Come on, man, Derek. Get out of here with that nonsense, man. Moving on. Eli Manning, 19.9 points. He's always going to have a New York Giant on his roster. That's really one of the reasons. It's going to be like his downfall. He's picking with his heart too much. And the Falcons D had a minuscule 12.8 points in a losing effort for the boys from Brooklyn. You're still my man, Derek, 50 grand. But you got to get together with your team, man. Get off Wall Street for a while. Manage your roster. Top-notch weight. I can't even say all this in one saying, man. Who the hell, like my man Chris, San Antonio top-notch weight is what? Weight, like trainers, you're a strength coach, you're one of the best, but you got a terrible name. No one knows that you're the best from your name of your team, man. For that, you get. Come on, son. How you gonna have a fantasy football name in my league? Jacked up name like that, man. You ought to get kicked out just on GP alone. Get it together, Chris. Change the team name, man. You got a good team. Sitting at 4-2 on a 4-game winning streak after starting the season 0-2, he took on the Smashers, led by lawyer extraordinaire Roland Esparza down here in San Antonio. This guy could talk a friggin' Arab into buying sand. That's how smooth talking he is. But he's wanted in 3 states for, I think, practicing law without a license. So be on the lookout for him. He sat at 4-2 also, but he's losing 2. He's going the other direction. San Antonio top-notch, winning 4 at a record of 4-2, and the Smashers losing 4 after starting the season undefeated. The top-notch weight was led by his loaded roster, led by Joe Flacco with 26.5 points. Too many people to name. Adrian Peterson, Arian Foster, number 1 running back in the league. Reggie Wayne, Percy Harvin doing it big now that Randy Moss is there. He has a lousy name, but he has a loaded team. But knowing my man Chris, he'll find a way to spike himself or break a finger, and he won't be able to set his lineup, and won't even make it to the playoffs. I don't know. He may stumble into the playoffs with this roster, but he'll find a way to mess it up in the end. The Smashers, led by Matt Schaub with 27.3 points. Big game from, of course, all-world running back Chris Johnson, MVP candidate. Javad Best still hasn't gotten it in gear. That turf toe must be kicking his behind. And Mike Wallace was glad to see Big Ben Roethlisberger come back. He scored 15 points with 90 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Big game. Top notch won again, 130. Put up a $130 to 103.2 for the Smashers, who got smashed. Last but not least, we got my man Timmy T.D. Duncan and his team Believe That. Believe That, the catchphrase from the movie Blue Streak with Martin. Believe That. That's where he gets it from. This is kind of like friendly fire here. He took on the strength coach of the Spurs team, Brangola, the Renaissance man himself, the free thinker, the motivated one, the green tea drinker. Hot ass green tea in San Antonio in July. He swallows it with the best of them. Pause. Team Believe That was led by Rashard Mendenhall, having a great season. Great pickup by Duncan. He had 84 yards and a touchdown for 15.9 points. Michael Crabtree found the end zone en route to 11.7 points. Phillip Rivers let him down, 16 points. Got beat up by St. Louis. St. Louis is playing a lot better this year, fellas. Take note. Brungy sure did. He started the Rams defense and got a big 36.2 points. That might be the pickup of the week, making him the GM move, giving him the GM move of the week. If he picked those guys up and started them against a tough San Diego Chargers defense. I told you he was a Renaissance man and a free thinker. He's on it. He has a good team also, but we have to see what he's going to do without Deshaun Jackson next week. Deshaun Jackson, my Philadelphia Eagle man himself, took a vicious hit, a clean hit too. I'm an Eagles fan, and I gotta say that was a clean hit, but he took a vicious hit, and he got one of them concussions. I think he got up. I thought he was dead when he got hit, but he got up asking for a bus pass and a Caesar salad, and he carried his little ass off the field. Ryan Terrain had 22.9 points. Aaron Rodgers 27.4 in a winning effort. Brungy put up a $144.9 to TD Tim Duncan's minuscule 93.1. Get it together, Tim. You got a lot of talent on that roster. You got to manipulate it better. If not, you're going to get the... Come on, son. Get together, manage the team, man. You got a lot of space in between them ears, man. Use it. Use it or lose it. As I said, I'll be coming to you live and in living color. We spent a lot of time each week. We spent a lot of time this week on the recap, but we'll go really quickly to week 7. This is the halfway point. As you know, our playoffs start in week 14, and the top 8 teams make it. This week we got Brungy and his 144-point team, Brangola, traveling to Philadelphia to take on my Hilltop Hustlers. Got to do some really big planning to try and offset that offensive juggernaut. The Gridiron Gangsters are traveling to Jersey to take on the Jersey Juggernaut. We'll see what happens as both those teams are going in opposite directions. 5-1 for the Gridiron Gangsters, 2-4 for the Jersey Juggernaut. You guys gotta excuse me if I stutter a little bit. I'm totally flowing off the cuff right now, so I gotta read a lot and then try to put a funny spin on it so you guys will watch this stuff, because you didn't read my messages before, and I got a lot of shit typing them messages late at night when Tiffany was, are you done? Are you done? Are you done? And I wasn't done, and I had to come downstairs and type it, and you brothers didn't even read it. But anyway, we'll see what happens, man. For all you brothers that are married or got lit in booty, you know the kind of crap I'm talking about. Mr. Mojo Fallen takes on San Antonio. I'm going to change his name. Takes on Chris White and his team who needs a new name. Both teams, 2-4, 4-2. The records are palindromic. If you don't know what it means, look it up. The Smashers travel to, I don't even know where Team Schmuck is, man. This guy's like military extraordinaire. He might be over in a cave somewhere in Afghanistan taking out some Al-Qaeda people or whatever. He's a deep dude, man. If I beat him, I'm telling you, I'm going into hiding for a couple weeks, man. He's bad. 4-2 taking on 2-4, the Smashers. We'll see if Roland Esparza can get back on the winning track. He's lost 2 straight after winning his first 4. We'll see what happens. The Brooklyn Boys and my man Derek Hostler taking on. This is actually friendly fire this week. This is the battle for New York City, as both teams are 2-4, and actually might be the battle for futility, not the battle for New York City. 2-4. You guys got to get it together. Last but not least, Team Believe That is traveling to Chicago to take on the Maywood Forgotten Ones and Chocolate Thunder, Michael Finley himself. Team Believe That is sitting at 4-2, but the Maywood Forgotten Ones are looking to even things up as they're at 3-3 and looking to tie Tim Duncan up at both at 4-3. We'll see what happens next week. As I said, we'll be bringing this to you live in living color. My man David Lardieri, the Jersey Juggernaut, will be dropping little quips on the message board every now and then, and I'll throw some video at you guys every once in a while. But this league, all of you guys in closing, get an F. This league is not fun. Nobody's talking trash.